kept talking about this. If Linda Rambis, Kurt Rambis' wife, is best friends with Jeannie Buss, and so Kurt Rambis has undue influence in the organization, you want to know the truth, Stephen A? That, to me, that doesn't make you a laughingstock. It doesn't make you a laughingstock if some former player is really having an influence on his former organization who won championships with. What makes you a laughingstock is if that guy doesn't know what he's doing. That's the problem. Kurt Rambis was 99 games under 500 as a head coach. You know why? Because
100.
he's living in an NBA from 30 years ago that doesn't exist anymore. When he had Kristaps Porzingis, 7'3" and could shoot from the outside, but skinny and young, and maybe, you know, you want to be careful in terms of injuries and fatigue and all those kind of things. I want this guy to be posting up more. But he can shoot the three, Coach. Have you noticed how this league works nowadays? No, I want him posting up more, where he was like the worst player in the league practically. Well, but he's tall. Kurt Rambis doesn't know what he's talking about in this NBA. I wouldn't compare my basketball knowledge to his, of course. But in this NBA, he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. So if that guy is advising you, he wants to put guys on Ty Lue's staff that also don't know what they're doing in the modern NBA and are there to try to take Ty Lue's job. Stephen A., it doesn't make sense. If I'm Ty Lue right now, I'm like this. If the Lakers don't get Ty Lue, they're a complete laughingstock. He has them over a barrel. Say, what did Luke Walton get? I want more than that. And I'm going to choose my own staff or see you later. That's going, by the way, if he does that, you think LeBron's not going to demand a trade?
Well, first of all, you're wrong. They're not a laughing stock, and you're living proof of it because you look like you're ready to cry, and I've been crying. The Lakers are a disaster.
They're a crying stock.
The Lakers are a disaster right now, and they're a disaster because they're just dysfunctional. They've been dysfunctional for years, and I don't think it's an accident that since their dad, Dr. Jerry Buss, departed from us, he passed away in Dr. Jerry Buss. He passed away in 2013. They haven't made the playoffs since. I don't think that's an accident. Now, when we look at it, we have to understand the magnitude of what's going on here. You're in a town. The Clippers are coming. Let's be clear. The Clippers are coming. You know this. And on top of it all, it's primarily because they have an owner with the deepest pockets in the league. Steve Ballmer's worth more than $30 billion. And so you know that, and your response to that from a competitive standpoint is to try and penny pinch. You know, you go offer Monty Williams a 3-year deal. You offer Ty Lue a 3-year deal. What could you possibly be thinking about? Magic Johnson walks out on you and doesn't even give you a call to let you know he's doing so. LeBron James, if there's any truth to the scuttlebutt that he was in Philly trying to recruit Kawhi and that there's a chance that Kawhi was willing to come to the Lakers instead of the Clippers, understand how profound that is. Because if Kawhi were to come to the Lakers, it's a double whammy because you were worried about him going to the Clippers. You take all of these things into consideration, and your response is to lowball and alienate Ty Lue. Why? Because you're afraid you don't want this to be perceived as LeBron James' team like it was in Cleveland, like he's running the organization. Well, guess what? At this particular moment in time, he should, because what's his competition? Linda Rambis? Kurt Rambis? Rob Pelinka? Why shouldn't LeBron be running an organization if that's what your competition is? And so all of these things that have been ignored by the Los Angeles Lakers and Jeannie Buss, a very decent and nice person and obviously business savvy, obviously on the business side, but admittedly having very little to do with basketball, what could you possibly be thinking? And if she's listening to Phil Jackson, let's be very clear. First of all, that's Phil Jackson's an upgrade from Linda Rambis to Kurt Rambis or Rob Pelinka. But we all know what Phil Jackson was as an executive now. Don't get me started. I'm in a very good mood. Don't get me started with what he did to the Knicks.
He also couldn't come up. He also couldn't keep up with the changes in the NBA. I mean, you have to adapt.
It's bad. It's
if I
bad
were LeBron James,
worse.
you know what I would do, Stephen A? I'd pick up the phone. I'd call Jeannie Buss. I'd be like, check this out. Hire Ty Lue. Do it now, or I'm coming out publicly and demanding a trade. And if I were Ty Lue, I would tell them, I'm picking my own staff. Stop lowballing me.
Well, he already
Come
told
to your
him that.
senses.
He already told him that.
Right, and now LeBron needs to back that up if he wants his coach. Like, what I don't understand is, why does LeBron care if the perception is that he's a coach killer or he's really calling the shots? He should be calling the shots. Maybe not in an organization like Miami with a strong head like Pat Riley, championship coach and all that, and a strong culture. But in any other situation, LeBron should be calling the shots. He shouldn't be shy about it. He should call the owner and say, give me my coach.
Hold that thought, because it's something that I want you to think about here, Max. If LeBron James, and let me be very, very clear, folks in his camp, folks close to Ty Lue, swear that his relationship with Ty Lue is great. He wants Ty Lue to be the coach, etc. If what you just suggested, because I suggested the same thing last night on SportsCenter, I'm telling you right now, you're absolutely right on the money. If LeBron doesn't suggest that, Max Kellerman, do we sit up here and have a legitimate right to ask whether or not LeBron James really wants Ty Lue? Because it ain't that hard to do what you suggested. It ain't that hard to pick up the phone now. It ain't that hard to tell Jeannie Buss, you know what, pay this man, give him his 5 years and let him pick his staff. And it ain't that hard for him to say, I didn't sign up for this. Magic was supposed to be here, etc.
I think that's a great
point. If y'all ain't going to do this, what's going on?
Then watch this. Then watch this. Here's an easy remedy to what you just said. LeBron should pick up the phone and tell Jeannie, hire whichever coach LeBron wants, or I'm going to demand a trade. How's that? Like, just make LeBron happy.
No, that's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm saying to you, Max.
He's saying if he
doesn't do that, he doesn't do that, what does that tell you about how much he wants Ty Lue?
Right, I'm saying if that's the case and he's not supporting Ty Lue like that, that may